today we have the one and only CEO and founder of Attainable Credit Solutions. That is Tim Adams, who hails from Detroit, Michigan. What do they call Detroit? The D?
D-Town, the D.
They call it D-Town. And so D-Town is in the house. However, you all, he now lives here with his family, lovely wife, and beautiful son and daughters here in the Southern California area. And I've been knowing him for quite a few years. And so I am so excited to have him on tonight. And I've had people already sending me questions to ask him. And so we will be answering questions. And I think somebody already has a question up in the comment area. But we're going to go straight into it because I know you guys have a lot of questions. And I have questions, and we want to get straight into it so we can get as much information out to you guys as possible. So good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
Good afternoon to you, Latanya. I am well. I am so excited to be here. I just have this passion just because of my struggles over the years to really help people, and of course our people, to really understand and succeed and use this credit in this proper form to access those things in life that they dream about.
Yeah, and we so need to hear someone that is very seasoned in understanding credit repair to help us through this process, because I think a lot of times we go through stuff and we do things that are mistakes because we do not reach out to people who truly understand what it is all about. So is it okay that we go straight into it?
We can go straight into it. We can go straight into it.
Okay, great. So starting it out, let me ask you, what does FICO mean? You know, because we hear about the FICO score, but what does it mean? And then how does it affect our lives?
So FICO stands for the Fair Isaac Corporation. So Mr. Fair and Mr. Isaac, they came together. They met in undergrad. And they were working actually out here in the San Jose area back in the 50s. And it was a data analytics company. And they came together to formulate this risk assessment for data furnishers. Data furnishers are your credit cards, your mortgagers, your lenders. They have this risk assessment algorithm that they formulated in the 50s to compute a score for the population to prove their credit worthiness. So that's what it is. And what people don't know about the FICO score, because we get caught up in the score, the FICO Corporation is a publicly traded corporation. So that means it's a for-profit corporation. And that'll be key as we get down into some of the other questions.
It's for profit. Now, see, My mouth is open. Are you serious?
Yes, wow. It's publicly traded. Stocks going about $360 a share. So that means it's a decent traded commodity.
Okay, you guys hear that? Okay, so you all need to know what's happening, what's going on in the world. Okay, thank you for sharing that information.
No problem.
That's something that I did not know about. Somebody just said, wow, it's something I've never heard of. Right. Okay.
But remember this, FICO score is an algorithm. That's going to be key once we get down to some of these questions, to remember that it is an algorithm. And we're going to expand on that later on.
Okay. So FICO score is an algorithm. Okay. Got it. Okay. So now let's go down our questions, because we have plenty of them for you all. And if you guys have questions, definitely ask, and we will ask Tim in regards to those. Okay, so let me ask you this next. What is considered to be the best score to obtain property? And what is and what is the score? What is the score that most Black folk have? I mean, you know.
Okay, so let me answer the first question in a broader sense before I get. The best FICO score right now is 850. However, that's soon to change. They're gonna move that up to 950. I mean 900 rather. I'm sorry, 900. But right now, currently, the best score you can have is 850, which is considered tier 1. Anything over 750, 760s. And once you crack 800, you're considered tier one. So of course, that's technically the best score you want to have to buy property, because most people don't know that even though you see the mortgage rates flash on TV on the billboards, 375 or 299, when you break
Mhm.
it to the 800s, you can negotiate for 1.9 credit or 1.9 interest rates. And that's key when you talk about a 30-year mortgage, right?
Wow.
That, I mean,
So you
that's
said it's
key. That's
mhm.
key. I had a colleague who was paying 1,600 on a beautiful home, $500,000 home, and because his FICO score was over 800, he refinanced his loan for 1.9, and now he's saving $600 a month in his monthly mortgage payment. So he lives in a $500,000 house for a $900 payment.
So we need to increase those credit scores in order to get a good rate when we purchase property, any type of property, even when it's going after a car, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. So
Mhm.
even though you can qualify for some of the FHA and some programs with lower credit scores, I think now, right before the pandemic happened, it was around 580. They're trying to push that up to 600. However, you're
Mhm.
going to see a higher interest rate with that. So you kind of want to shy away from that sometimes, depending on where we are in life. That's impossible, but you never want to not have getting that score higher. So when it's time to refinance, you can utilize some of those benefits. So don't just be happy getting a house. If you just able to have to slide in, you want to be able to benefit from having that, that higher credit score.
Wow. Okay. So you're gonna help us get to them higher levels,
Yeah.
Tim.
So
Yes,
so the
sir.
second question that you asked me. So again, let me add, the average credit score in America is right between 699 and 702.
Okay. That's
However,
average. Hmm.
However, us as African Americans usually rank about 100 points lower than that. So you're talking 602, 620 ish for the African American population.
And so why do you think that is?
Um, Not properly being taught about credit, what
Mm-hmm.
credit is used for. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then once we get older, it now you have to work in the discipline. It's not just about either fixing your credit or paying somebody to fix it, because what happens is you look at that as a cost and not an investment. And
Mm-hmm.
because we haven't been taught, we don't understand the investment. So if it costs you X amount of dollars to whether you do it yourself, the law says you can do it yourself. However, they don't provide guidelines, which how people like me and in business like I am, we come into play because we kind of understand what the market and what the laws are saying with our team. But
Right.
because we haven't been taught, we don't value it. We know we need it, we want it, but we don't value it because we don't know how to value it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Hey, John. Okay. You see John's question. Okay. So John asks, why do people have bad credit? That is, okay. Okay. I think he's making a statement. Or is he
Okay.
making a statement? That is when a circumstance occurs in life that could ruin a person's credit. What can a person do to limit the damage to their credit worthiness?
So credit is plays two parts. First,
Okay.
biblically, I think it's around Proverbs 22. It says a
Mm-hmm.
good name is better than silver and gold. So credit is your digital name.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're meeting people, you give somebody your word, hey, I'm going to come by and help you move. You need to show up and help them move. That's your credibility. Now, credit
Okay.
as far as financial, it's your credit report, is the algorithm. So now that's your digital name. You need to be able to do what you say you're going to do. Like, you should have good credit, period, and not leverage it at all if you don't have any plan to use it. And what am I
Help
saying?
us, Lord.
So outside of just your house and car, and maybe if you do a vacation, whatever, not to get in deep, because we're going to walk down some criteria that you must follow to maintain good credit. But credit is used in America to access capital to increase your cash flow.
Mhm.
So if you don't have a dream, a plan, a business idea, your credit probably needs to be over here chilling somewhere.
Wow. Okay, that's good. Okay, Tim, see, that's some good stuff. You need to write a book because you are saying stuff that some of us had never heard of before.
And
I
I've
mean,
never
really,
heard of it
seriously.
too. I mean, I got it probably like some of us. We got it fragmented. You try it, you throw money,
Right,
you don't see the results, you waste money, then you get skeptical, but you know you need it.
right,
Then you, of course, you know, we're believers, so we're gonna go to God and give it to God. However, he even talks about discipline, consistency.
right. Discipline.
So it
Hmm.
all comes back into that because when you talk about algorithms, algorithms are a consistent, disciplined outcome. So now it's not emotional, right? So if we, as you know, our brothers and sisters, we remove the emotion and get into the data and the discipline and the consistency, we're going to far so much more better that it's going to be so exponential. It might seem like it's a struggle as you know you get in the car moving, but you know how it is. Once a car is going downhill, you can take your feet off the gas.
That's real talk. But I'm loving what you said, that discipline and that consistency. Discipline and consistency. Y'all hear that? Because this is where we have to get. Because we, especially as you just said, as African Americans, we're already 100 points below our counterparts. So we're already trying to catch up.
Right.
Okay, discipline and consistency, and that's where we got to get to that place of. Okay, okay, we got stuff coming in. Okay, so let me ask you this next question. Um, um, okay, I think I had on here how to increase, but let me go here first. Someone asked, to boost credit score, what things should we have removed off our report? So I guess basically, should people begin to remove items off their report in order to increase the credit score?
Well, you got to
Because a
be
lot of people
careful
have that
removing
question.
because you don't want to. It's and that's where it's tedious, and that's where even like I said, the law says you can work on your own credit. Some people have been successful, however,
Yeah.
with that consistency and discipline in place, there's a process now. So you don't want
Hmm.
to make sure you remove the wrong things because, for example, you might have a late car payment. Do you want to remove that whole
Okay.
trade line when you have 19 months of good payment and just one bad one?
Right.
No, you don't want to get
Right.
into that because then you know you'll blow it all out the water. So let me start from here. To boost scores is to really have your positive credit outweigh your negative credit. That's the simple
Okay.
answer. That's
Okay.
really the straight simple answer. Your positive credit outweigh your negative credit. Or the second, the part B of that simple answer is you want to make sure that your utilization is in line. You don't want to have $5,000 available and your balance is $4,999. You want to
Hmm.
make your utilization. Now let's go back to the
Okay.
first the first answer. You can have more positive credit than negative credit, and your scores will increase. Right? I said that.
Right.
However, you still might not be able to buy anything
Right.
because
Okay.
your credit is just not about your score. People are lured in by the score, and the
Right.
score should be a reflection of what's in your profile.
Wow. Okay.
Period.
Okay.
So you can, if you have 760 credit and you think you're doing good, but you know that you got a $300 credit card that you just haven't used yet, that
Right.
you don't have any meat in your profile.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
765 will get you pre-qualified. That'll get you into the bank to talk to the lender, but the lender's going to open up your file. Now that reasoning comes in.
Hmm.
They're going to say, "Hey, you got $300. It's paid off. You know, it's 100% paid off. However, you want 300,000. Well, my score is high. Well, you don't have any meat to go from $300 to 300,000, and you want me
Wow.
to give it to you over 30 years." As they say in the South, if anybody's on from the South, they say that dog don't hunt.
So basically, it's in what's in your profile. So it is like what's in your history. So
It's
you gotta take out that time to just start saying, even if you're starting now, becoming disciplined and consistent in what it is that you're doing.
right.
Okay. Okay. Got you. Oh my Lord, today. Okay. Somebody said, say that. All right. Right, right, right. Okay. So now the so another question was, someone asked, what is the quickest way to boost your score? Did we already ask that? Is there a quick way to boost it?
So the quickest way to boost it, and of course, everybody's profile is different. Everybody's suffered different circumstances. Everybody's circumstances is different. Now, one of the fastest way to boost it is to understand the five. I call them the 5 factors of the credit score. So the 5 factors
Okay.
of the credit score is utilization, right? So you want to make sure that your utilization is not upside down. You want it to be a minimum of 70-30. However, tier
Okay.
one, you need it to be under 10%. So that'll
So
help.
what do you so what do you mean by that? What is utilization?
So
Basically,
utilization. So you always want to show utilization. So
mhm.
we call it not necessarily a trick, but you know how you work the algorithm in your favor. If you have five
Okay.
thousand dollars in credit, available revolving credit, you want to
Hmm.
make sure that 365 days of the week that you're not
Okay.
over $500.
Gotcha.
So I don't care if
Right.
it says 5,000 every day,
Right.
because back, like I said, some of us seasoned people, you know,
Right.
we're still believing that the credit bureau, you know, they report every 30 days. As long as you pay it off when your cycle, you're good.
Mhm.
However, the credit, because of technology, the credit bureaus are looking at your credit every day. Your
Every
credit score
day.
can go up and down every couple of days. So if you want to have that stay in proper utilization, you want to make sure if you got $5,000 and you go out and spend $500 on a refrigerator and you didn't pay it off, don't go spend another $100. You got to be at that 500, because if not, every dollar over that will start impacting your score.
So basically, what you're saying, if you even if you have a credit, whatever it is, keep it 10%. So if even if you
Mhm.
have a credit limit of $5,000 on your
Mhm.
card, don't spend more than $500.
Don't spend more than
Don't go
500.
up. Okay. And so that's how you can begin to boost your
That's
credit.
one thing. That's one thing.
That's
But I know
one thing.
people. I know
Okay.
people are thinking like I think. Like, wow, I got 5,000 available, and I only spend 500. What is that? Well, I said it's all about the percentages, right? I'm gonna be key on
Right.
percentages. If you want to spend 10,000, you need $100,000 card. That's all. So that means you just got to improve your credit worthiness.
Okay.
So
Improve
work the
credit worthiness.
percentages to your favor. The other thing is um, watch how you apply for new credit. You only want to apply for new credit when you absolutely have to, no more than twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that means if you want $100,000 credit card or whatever you want, you need to make sure that you understand the requirements of the banking institution that they have for you to get it. And you want to make sure that you're prepared to apply for it when it's time to apply, because you're going to have that inquiry on your report. Now, inquiry is not bad if it's tied to an open trade line, but you don't want to have all
Mm-hmm.
these inquiries looking like you're chasing money and nobody ever
Right.
gave it to you.
Right.
So you just want to watch how
Okay.
you apply for credit.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Okay.
The third thing is you want to eliminate hard inquiries. So anything that's not tied, again, to a trade line, an open trade line that you have, we need to
Mhm.
work to remove those inquiries. But key is, if
Okay.
it's tied to an open trade line, do not remove it. You will cause yourself a world of trouble.
So, okay, don't remove it if it's connected to an open trade line.
Right.
Don't keep it there.
Keep it
Okay.
there, because you know how people say, oh, you got so many inquiries. No, they tie
Right.
inquiries to open trade lines. If you have open trade lines, the inquiry is okay.
Okay. Okay. And so, can you explain to people what a trade line is? Because I know business, we have some business people on here that may understand what a trade lines are, but I don't know if everyone understands. Can you explain
Okay.
that
Yeah,
for us?
trade line is every open account that's on your credit report, whether it be a student loan, whether it be a car loan, a mortgage, a credit card, a jewelry credit card. Those are considered trade lines.
Okay. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, so someone asked the question. So, do we need to pay every time we use it if I buy a refrigerator and then pay it off before, if I buy a refrigerator and then pay it off before the cycle?
So so that's a loaded question. If you're at your 10% maximum, which I like to be that or under, and you know, if circumstance happens and you only can pay a certain amount, that's fine. But understand you're going to introduce interest to your payment, because you're going to be paying interest on the balance. However, I make it a practice to, when I buy something, I pay
Mhm.
it. I pay half in 15 days, the balance at the end. because you want to show utilization because it helps your credit. However, you don't want to pay the bank's interest. So two things that happen. One, it won't cost you extra money. Two, when they're not making money, but you're showing that you actually use the credit card, they're going to start saying, okay, we're going to offer them some more money.
Got you. So basically, it's a good thing to pay. You said every like 15. Basically,
I pay 15 days. So if I buy something and just say it might be less than that, depending on what time of the month you buy it.
Right.
But just if you buy something on the 1st of the month, by the 15th of the month, soon as it shows, because it takes a couple of days to actually show that you owe money. But as soon as it shows that you owe money, I'm paying half then, and then I'm paying half when they say it's due.
That's good. That's
good. And because of technology, you can set those payments up in advance on your app, your mobile app, so you don't have to worry about forgetting them.
And that's part of too helping with the algorithm, because as you mentioned earlier, we're dealing with algorithms just like we do with social media. It's about the algorithms, and you're trying to pretty much trick it to an extent. Am I correct?
You're trying to work it to your favor.
We're trying to work it to our favor. So we're going to work it to our favor, y'all.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily a math guy like I used to be, but you want to make sure that X always lands on your side of the equation.
Okay. So then basically you guys too, if you have something, if you have credit or whatever, your credit cards, try to pay them, as he said, sometime in between the middle of the month and then the rest towards the end, however it is, because too, as you say, we're trying to lower the interest because it's always an interest there, which is accruing, correct?
Yeah, you don't want to pay any interest. Mm-hmm. You don't want to pay any. You want to show utilization without paying the interest, because that's how. And now you're building your credibility with that lender, especially if it's a credit card, because now they're going to say, well, I'm not making any money. However, they are using it. So in their mind, they're going to give you some more because they want to make interest, but you already know you got the secret sauce already. You're not going to ever get interest out of me, but you're going to keep giving me available credit because I'm working on another plan and I need this tenure and this available credit to show, because I want a bigger house. I want to start a business. I want to get a business loan, whatever that plan is.
Right. This is some good stuff, ain't it, y'all? Okay. I know somebody said, love this. Wow. I mean, this is some good stuff. Thank you so much, Tim. Okay. So now what was the other question I had for you? I had another question for you too. All right. Someone else asks, what's the most detrimental to your credit report and how can you remove them? What's the most detrimental to your credit?
The most detrimental, let me give you the best order. You have your public records, right? Your bankruptcies, whether it be bankruptcies, child support, foreclosures, and student loans, and then medical bills.
Student loans, Tim, them student loans, man.
Well, let me give you a nugget. Let me give you a nugget about public records. So public records, not excluding student loans, public records are your your bankruptcies, your tax liens, your child support if somebody falls in that stature. But what people don't know is the public records are not volunteering that information to the credit bureaus.
Okay.
Because they don't report to credit bureaus.
Okay.
So somebody should be asking the question right there. How does it get on my credit report?
So how does it get on my credit report, Tim?
Well, one, since it is a public record, I mean, if somebody filed bankruptcy, I can go down to the bankruptcy court and pull it myself because it's public record. However, the information is the greatest commodity. If everybody ever watched Wall Street, like the original Wall Street, information is the greatest commodity in the world. So the data, the credit bureaus, they go to and fro. Whoever my Bible scholars here, when God asked Satan what he was doing in the book of Job, where have you been? I've been going to and fro. The credit bureaus, I don't care how nice they talk in those emails to you, and they tell you report your utilities are going to boost your score. They are not your friends. They are in business to collect data, and the more data they collect or they believe is reliable, they sell that data for profit.
Mm.
So if they got it, they don't care if your score is high, low, or anything like that. Of course, if it's lower, they're going to get a benefit because then they get to sell it to high interest credit cards, right? But
Mhm.
they're going to get data to tie you in, and they really want to, whoever they're selling to, they just want to prove that Latanya is who Latanya is.
Right.
So, I mean, to the point where if you're at your son's house and you say, hey, I'm going to treat everybody to pizza, and you sign a
Right.
receipt, and if they collect that data with that address where you signed that receipt, that's not your home, it'll pop up on your credit bureau. We don't know that because we don't check our credit reports often enough.
We don't check them often. Okay, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna
Another
get to that.
another
Okay.
another nugget. Multiple addresses cost
Uh-huh.
you 50 points on your credit report, but that's another nugget.
You said what now?
I
Repeat
said
that.
multiple addresses because you only can live one place. Multiple addresses will cost you 50 points. Up to 50.
Multiple addresses on your report cost you 50 points.
It can
You
cost
know
you
what,
up to
Tim?
50
I'm gonna
points.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you what. I pulled my credit report and I saw multiple addresses. So basically, you're okay. So so how do you get rid of those addresses? Can you even get rid of them? Y'all
Yeah,
hear that? If you got
yeah.
multiple addresses on your
Mhm.
report, it's causing you 50 points. Okay, see how much I owe you. I owe you how much? Let me get my book. Let me get my book out.
50 points.
That was
Look, before I got into this space, I used to see the multiple addresses on my report, and I took it as a badge of honor. Like, that's history.
right.
No, it's working against you.
Okay, yeah, okay. So I hope y'all hear that. Okay, so we gotta get that stuff because I actually pulled mine and I saw the addresses. Especially as you said, over time, the older you are,
Mhm,
we move.
mhm.
Here I moved from Ohio. I even saw Ohio addresses, Los
And how
Angeles address.
and right, and you've been out here since I met you, and I've been knowing you over 20
I've been out
years.
here for
So
30 years,
right, so
and it is still there.
mhm.
Okay. See, that's okay. So now somebody asked the question. Well, okay. Someone asked the question. How can we teach our children about credit? Good question, McKenna.
That is probably one of the best questions right there because we were never
Mhm.
taught that. One, we have to talk about discipline and responsibility, and that comes with allowances and not spending everything in one place when they make money. Because I know my daughter, she when she wants to will and deal with me, she wants to get the best bang for her buck. So she doesn't want 10 jobs to get the total amount. She wants one job to get the total amount, right? So it starts there with just simple budgeting and discipline and understanding how to leverage a skill to get what you want. And so that means you have to
Mhm.
know what value you bring to the
Mhm.
table. That's one. Two
Mhm.
is what they didn't teach. I don't think they taught our people is when you when your kids start going to college. I think you can do it as early as 15 or 16. You add them
Mhm.
as authorized users to your credit,
Hmm.
your credit cards. Now,
Right.
now you might give them a credit card, you might not, but you might give it to them. If they're disciplined enough, you give it to them. That way, if they're somewhere away from you and they're in trouble, they can use it, and it's not an issue.
Right. Right.
So, of course, for that emergency purpose, but also if you're building positive credit and you're following some of these steps that I've outlined here,
Mhm.
their credit is being built as well. And the reason why we need to do that now, Latan, you and I were talking right before the call, was because of this whole FICO scoring changes all the time.
Right.
That those authorized users for your kids are becoming less and less powerful. So, but you got to get them on there so you can get them a small primary. Because primary
Wow.
means they're the primary account holder, even if it's $50, $100,
Right.
and then you teach them that way, right? To
Mhm.
pay it on time and things like that, and make sure that if it's $100, don't go out and say I got $100. No, what did I say? This is a pop quiz. If your kids have $100 on their credit card, how much do they really have?
Y'all got want to answer that?
I'm gonna give you the answer. They got
Anybody want to
ten
answer that
dollars. They
question?
got $10. That's all they have
Did
is
somebody
$10.
answer? I'm trying to see if somebody answered the
Okay,
question. They probably did. It's so many comments. Okay,
right.
got you.
They
Keep
only
going.
have they only have $10. So
Mm-hmm.
and then of course secured cards, right? You get them
Right.
secured cards, to where secured card is very powerful because you have to make
Yes.
that initial deposit to get the credit. So you're really securing your own credit with your money. That is powerful for young people because they got to give something to get something.
Right. Okay. Got you. Woo, Tim. You need to teach a class. You need to teach a course? Okay, we're gonna talk about that later because
Okay.
these are some nuggets up on here
Oh, and look,
because
I
we
have
have to.
you saw a question from John Adams. I have my team. I have my very expert credit strategist. He's on the call too. So we can go we can go as deep as you all want to go.
You don't have to go deep because you know why we got to get this stuff done because this is I think this is what's holding us back,
Hmm.
especially as African American people. It's what's holding us back because I was just talking to someone earlier today, and of course, everyone's closed down. Well, we're supposed to be stay at home, but we were talking about it this morning how in Atlanta how they opened up the mall and they dropped the Jordan tennis shoe
Right.
this weekend, and they said people were wrapped around the corner to purchase the tennis shoe. They ran out of the shoe, and we're purchasing material items opposed to doing other stuff that we need to get done. And
Hmm.
so I think it's something that needs to be discussed. Okay, come on, jump on in, Tim. Come on with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what hurts me about that? What hurts me about that, first of all, and I understand, it's a business out here. People, some people wear them,
Right,
some people buy them for 200, then they sell them. They can sell them for 10 times the
right,
amount on the internet because they're
mm,
such a limited quantity.
right.
The issue I have is um, I grew up in the Michael Jordan era. I used to sell shoes at Foot Locker. So on Mondays, we used to take in inventory, and Michael Jordan's came in, and they cost the Foot Locker Corporation $27. I stopped wearing Jordans because you
Hang
can't
up,
sell
hang
me
up. I
shoes for
can't,
$120.
I can't, I can't, I can't.
You can't.
Jesus, Lord help us today.
You can't. I
Okay.
mean, you can't sell me a retro model, not even the original mold. You can't sell me a retro model for $200 when Foot Locker bought them for $27.10. So that means, and that was profit to Nike. So that means Nike probably paid $3 for them, if that.
And we wrapped around the corner. Let me go buy me some shoes and sell them on eBay. I'm not
Right.
okay. 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 But yeah, but I mean, it's but unless you are purchasing the item to sell, which many people are not doing, they're just purchasing them to wear.
Mhm.
It's detrimental to us. And that way, and we want to talk. You talk about investments and all that stuff as well, Tim.
Yeah. We talk
Okay.
about a little
Okay,
about
we're gonna say
investments.
that for another okay, we're gonna say that for another. Don't talk.
All
Shh.
right, good,
We're gonna
good.
say that
Okay.
for another one for sure. Okay, because we need to start talking about that. Because we got to do something.
Mhm.
We got to get above the grain.
Right.
Someone said, unfortunately, in our community, there are parents that have used their child's social, okay, to obtain services like apartments and things when they were minors. How can this get removed?
We have to go through, and what we do, we go through
Mm,
the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collections Practice Act. We go through these laws, um, and we, outside of just things, just only should be on your report 7 to 10 years. They don't just fall off either. I don't want people to get that misnomer. If something
right.
just fell off, it's because that company went out of business. It just doesn't fall off. Because the
Wow.
credit bureau is always looking for information to replace that information because they got to have the
Right.
most up-to-date information on it. Uh,
Right.
but what we do is we go through these laws to understand, are they reporting these things accurately? That's a trick statement
Mhm.
right there. I just want to get to everybody. That's a trick statement. And when I say reporting these things accurately, by law,
Mhm.
they have to report everything on your credit bureau across all three credit bureaus the same exact way. Now I want y'all to listen close. I didn't say
Okay.
if you
We're
did it or
listening.
not. I'm not here to get off into that. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if you did it. I'm not here defending you. I'm
Right.
here to say, is it reported the same way? And if we go back to the addresses, we already know the answer to that question, which is no.
We know that one. Yes.
79% of Americans have inaccurate and erroneous and derogatory things on their credit. And it has nothing to do whether if they did it or not.
You said 79%?
79% of Americans, 80%. So that means we're talking adults, right? So 70, 80,
Yeah.
we have 350 million people in America. So you're talking roughly what, 200 and maybe 70 million?
Mm, my God, today. 79. Okay.
And,
Yes.
and the crazy thing about it, Latanya, is that the format that it should be reporting under, the credit
Hmm.
bureaus came out with it and is still not reporting accurately.
Still not reporting
And it's
accurately.
still not reporting accurately.
So for us, it is we have to go in and we have to connect with people like you to help us first find out what's on those reports and then help us to elevate, take those levels to the next level. But I'm still stuck on the fact too, like you said, we have a profile, we have history. And so we have to be able to know how to operate and how to get our scores to the place where they need to be so we can be ahead of the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I started with the addresses because whenever you get your, and even right now during this pandemic, they're giving away, they're letting you access your credit reports for free again under
Mhm.
annualcreditreport.com. And the
Okay.
first thing we always do, we scroll down and see how bad it is, but we scroll past our name, we scroll past our birthday, we scroll past our addresses. All of that information is, if it's on that report, is powerful.
Okay.
It's, you can't, TransUnion might say Latanya Washington, Equifax might say L Washington, Experian
Right.
might say Latanya W. That's inaccurate.
It's inaccurate. I even had X in my name. I don't have a
That's
middle name. It had X.
inaccurate. That is costing you points.
Oh, snap. Okay. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Y'all hear that? It's costing us points. Okay. Man, Tim. Okay, that's good. It's costing us points. So things are on our reports that's costing us points that we don't even recognize they're costing us points.
You don't even reckon. And let me give you a tip. You asked me this, and we didn't get a chance to answer it. How do you get?
Mhm.
How do you correct your address? You get your ID. You get a copy of your ID, your driver's license to where you live, a copy of your social security number, and a copy of your a utility where you pay utilities, and you send that to the credit bureaus and ask them to update your file. And this is my accurate information.
And just like that, that'll help decrease your
You,
increase your number.
and let me go further. Now, you might have to stay on the phone with them because they be dodging you for 30, 40 minutes, but you can call them and tell them the same and ask them to do the same thing.
Okay, okay, got it, got it, got it. Okay, y'all, we got to have Tim back, right? I think Tim needs to teach a class. Y'all think so? I think Tim literally needs to teach a course in regards to all of this stuff that we have talked about today. And Tim, you willing to teach a class? You
I
willing to do
absolutely am. I have, and like I said, I'm real big, and it's about the third time I think I said it, consistency and discipline, because I have
Yes.
some help that helps me, get the
Okay.
message across. And we are, because we have such a love for people, and of course our people, we're going to be brutally honest. So look at it as an investment and not a cost. If you look at it as an investment, you got to look at it as like a boot camp, because once you understand that this system is not working for you, if you're not working it, you'll never go back. You'll never go back once you understand it. I want t-shirts made that I'm not going back. I am not going back to bad credit. I don't know if we froze up, Latanya. I see you, but I don't see you moving. Yeah, I think Latanya froze, but definitely, team. And I say team because at the end of the day, we're all interconnected. I would love to come back to get real deep into the bones of this. But if you don't do anything, fix your credit. Fix your credit. Fix your credit. I do have a credit solutions company. I don't like just saying repair, but credit solutions company, and we definitely can help you all out. But whatever you do, fix your credit. Fix it, make it a point. It's going to take discipline, it's going to take investment, but if you can give it 4 to 12 months, you will be in a new place. If you make that investment, think about the coronavirus right now. We have some downtime. We should be maximizing these opportunities to make sure that we come out of this better. We come out of this better. So reach out to me. I don't know if Latanya's gonna make it back in. If you got some more questions, I'm definitely open to ask some. If you ask them in the chat, I can see the chat. So if you got a couple more questions, I definitely don't mind asking. I can talk about this every day, all day. Because once I found out the secret to why I couldn't get my credit to where I wanted to be, once I understood it, my mentor took me under his wing, and I followed his instructions. I took the harsh talking, I accepted the harsh reality, and then I invested. I invested in myself and even in my family to make sure that we have tier 1 credit, and it's available to everybody. If you want your credit fixed, it can get fixed. Bankruptcies, public records, whatever it is, don't let anything on your bureau scare you. You can call us. We can do an analysis for you, and we can tell you exactly. We can tell you exactly what's in your report, what's inaccurate, and what steps are needed to get it repaired and get you on your way. Now, the law doesn't allow us to give guarantees and timelines. However, you can see results in as early as 30 to 45 days. And most people in our company or our clientele, they're through within about 6 months, 7 months at the top, some even sooner, some as early as 4 months to about 6 to 8 months, which is no time when it took us years, right? Let's be honest with ourselves. It took us years to get into this mess, and then we hid. Then we hid for a while. So to give up, 4 to 8 months of your time of just putting that discipline back into you, a lot of motivational speakers, they talk about it takes about 21 days to break a habit and build a habit. So just think how powerful you would be after that investment in yourself. Because with our company, we also educate you, because I only want you for a client one time. I don't want to be in business forever. I want you to fix it. I want you to get your kids right, and then I can go away. And then we can work on other business ventures. We can buy up all this available land. We can get into real estate. We can start these businesses that you put on the shelf because you can't access capital. Let me give out my number too. My number is 888-909-0580. Again, that's 888-909-0580. That's Attainable Credit Solutions. Call us. Always be open to knowing what's in your credit. We'll, like I said, we'll do that analysis for you. We'll tell you what the process is to get you where you want to be, and then we can celebrate at the end together. Latanya, are you back? I see you again, but you're frozen. I don't mind talking. I'll go grab my Bible and take up some scriptures up in here. Then I'm gonna have to take up an offering.
I have made it back. Can you hear me? I don't know. It got so good.
Yes, I can hear you. I can definitely hear you. We just went a little deeper. I gave out my number. I told them, I said, hey, we have a credit solutions company, myself and my team. I said, but whatever you do, get your credit fixed, get an analysis done.
It got so good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me?
it got so good, but it's all good.
Okay. Yeah, you're freezing up again. So that means you giving me the floor, giving me the mic, giving me the mic. Oh, I see. Dre Berry says, never going back to bad credit. Get you a t-shirt. Never go back to bad credit. Never, never, never. It is resources out here for everything that you want to do. If you can't access the resources, just like the Bible said with the prophet and the widowed woman who had the son, and the prophet asked her, "What are you going to do?" She said, "I'm going to make my son and I these fig cakes, and then we're going to go home and die." And he said, "What's in your house?" Again, like with credit, let's look internal. Let's look internal. What's in our profile that we need to address to access the things external? You got to access it internal before it's external. Right? There's not always something outside of us, right? We're endowed with everything that we need for our purpose in this earth. So we got to make sure that we understand how are we thinking credit. What do we think about credit? Is it scary? Is it taboo? Can we talk about it openly? I was the same way. You didn't want to talk about it. You want to look like, you know how we do. We want to dress like we got everything together, but internally we know we're all broken apart. But that has to change now. That has to change. We have to be clean on the inside and the outside, right? I think Jesus challenged those Pharisees when he said, "You all dressed up all nice and you got bells and whistles on your robes, but you're like whitewashed tombstones on the inside." So, I'm gonna always talk about that Bible if you let me talk too long. But definitely, like I said, you got my number, 888-909-0580. Give me a call. We'll do that analysis for you, let you know what you need to do. And looking forward to hearing from you and talking with you again. I'm going to end the call now. Latanya is having some technical difficulties, but that's okay. I don't believe anything is a coincidence. Give me a call. Give our team a call. We're waiting to hear from you. And we'll see you again next week on the next Night School. Everybody have a great evening and a blessed evening. Thank you.